What's up guys, Luke here from Luke's Points and Miles, and once again I got a new card. This one will be a surprise to some folks, and this one was actually a pretty huge surprise for me as well. In this video I'm going to reveal which new card I was just approved for, and then we will go over the card, and afterwards I'll talk about what this means for my overall strategy, because guys, this card is a game changer for me. I don't want to keep you in suspense any longer, especially since it's right there on the thumbnail. Last Friday, I applied and was approved for the Chase Bank Inc. Preferred card. Some folks are thinking, yeah, so what? What's the big deal with that? Well, first off, if you're a regular here on the channel, you know that I am a devout follower of the Amex faith. I regularly poke fun at the Chase fanboys. Second, I currently sit at 624 and 412. What that means is I have opened 6 credit card accounts in the last 24 months. Chase has long been known to have the infamous 524 rule, meaning that if you have opened 5 or more credit cards in the last 24 months, you would be instantly denied. Well, I went back and I checked, and I'm not scheduled to be under 524 until July or so. Before I get into that, if you are new to the channel, I talk about credit cards, points, miles, cashback, and travel. If you're interested in those things, slap that subscribe button. And if at any time you get any value at all out of this completely free video, click that like button. Give me some love with the YouTube algorithm. Now, with all that out of the way, let's get started. Okay, some backstory. One of my first rewards cards was the Chase Sapphire Preferred. I got that card way before I knew anything at all about points and miles, but I read that I could get the card, get the bonus, and then cancel, wait a few months and do it again. I know. Stupid, right? Well, this was back in maybe 2009 when the Sapphires first came out, and I was reading about churning. By the way, I do not recommend churning at all. To make this long story short, I canceled 2 different Sapphire Preferreds and opened several new credit cards before realizing the power of the Chase Ultimate Reward System. For years, I've wanted to get back into the good graces of Jamie Dimon and Chase Bank. I use them as my primary bank, both personally and with my property management business. I've had home equity lines of credit with Chase, all in hopes of creating a mutually beneficial relationship once again. If you've watched the channel, you also know that I've been a fan of and lusted over the Chase Bank Inc. business cards. I've also been gardening as well as I could, and the Inc. cards were to be my first attempt at getting back together with the Chase crew. Then I came upon a video on Chad's Money Minutes, where he was approved for the Chase Bank Inc. Unlimited card at 824. If you haven't checked out Chad's video, give it a look. As I've said before, all credit card YouTubers are not the same. Right now, there is a good mix of different styles and perspectives, so find a channel or two you can relate to. I digress. So back to the Inc. cards. You guys know I'm not afraid to fire off an application and get another inquiry on the credit report. So last Friday, almost without even knowing, I commented on Chad's video saying I wanted some of his magic approval dust. Well, he didn't have any, and by the time I realized what I was doing, I was already logged into my Chase business account, and the application was pre-filled out. I hit the button, and I was immediately expecting that letdown of denial. Some of you know what that feels like. It's terrible. Then I look up at the computer, approved. What? How can this be? And I even got a nice credit limit of $13,000. I'm not one to question the Chase algorithm, and I'm also not one to question good fortune. So after years of waiting, I'm finally back on the team. Before I go into how this changes my overall strategy, let's have a look at the card. First off, Chase Bank Inc. Business Preferred card is a business card. That's important because it doesn't report to my personal credit, and it doesn't count against my 524 status. That will be a factor when I apply for my next card, which I'll talk about later. Does this card have a bonus? Well, yes, it does. The current bonus is 100,000 Chase Ultimate Rewards points for $15,000 spent in 3 months. Now, that is a very high spending requirement, so we may have to get creative to make sure we hit that threshold. It's a good thing it's holiday season. What does the card earn? Like I said before, the card earns Chase Ultimate Rewards points, which can be used in a number of different ways, from cashback, pay yourself back, paying with points within Chase Travel Portal, gift cards, purchasing Apple products, and transferring out to partners. Expect a separate video detailing redemptions because I don't save up points. Once I hit this bonus, those points will be spent on something super cool. This card earns 3 times Ultimate Rewards points on the first $150,000 spent in combined purchases each year in the following spending categories: shipping purchases, advertising with social media sites and search engines. While those categories don't really move the needle for me, these next categories do: internet, cable, and phone services. Now, those are great bonus categories. The card also earns 3 times points on travel purchases, and Chase has a super broad definition of travel. It also turns out that I enjoy a little bit of travel. And this card comes with an annual fee of $95. If you didn't know already, this card is basically the business version of the Sapphire Preferred, with less cool benefits. So what kind of benefits do we get that offset that annual fee? With this card, you can redeem travel within the Chase Travel Portal with a 25% bonus. For example, 100,000 Ultimate Rewards points are worth $1,250 towards travel. A benefit like that could definitely add up with a lot of domestic flights with, say, Southwest. Busch Light and beef jerky, anyone? It's a travel card, so there are no foreign transaction fees, and this goes well with the acceptance of Visa. You rarely need to worry about a merchant refusing this card. We also have decent travel protections such as trip cancellation, trip interruption insurance, roadside dispatch, primary rental insurance when renting a car for business purposes. I am curious if anyone has used this and Chase maybe questioned whether the rental was for actual business or not. The card has really good cell phone protection. $1,000 with a $100 deductible and 3 claims in a 12-month period. The purchase protection is also better than most, with $10,000 worth of coverage for items damaged or stolen up to 120 days after purchase. So if I buy a new camera for my Hawaii trip next year, I will be using this card. The card has extended warranty protection, but it's not as good as some of the Amex cards. It gives you an extra year of warranty on warranties of 3 years or less. Not bad. Employee cards are no additional cost. Is this card actually worth the $95 annual fee? Well, the short answer is kinda. See, Chase gets you because for you to be able to unleash maximum value for your Ultimate Rewards points, you must hold either a Sapphire card or this business version. So by itself, I'm not sure if this card is worth it past the first year, but it does have a giant bonus. Obviously, the card is a force multiplier for travelers. Chase has so many other no annual fee cards that earn Ultimate Rewards points that when paired with this card or a Sapphire, they form Voltron and send you all over the world for free. So in the grand scheme of things, the $95 annual fee for this card makes sense for me in the long term. Why? Because I plan to pair it with the Chase Inc. Business Cash Card to earn another huge bonus and 5 times UR points at office supply stores, which will give me access to a few different gift card strategies, and 5 times on internet, cable, and phone. After that, I may chance an application for a personal card and try to get the ever popular Freedom Flex. That will really create an affordable trifecta that will suit me, even if it's used as a secondary setup. What does this card acquisition do for my overall strategy? Well, I've always been an Amex first guy, and I just did a video on what was in my wallet and my overall strategy for Q4 2022. But I generally stay flexible and I don't mind a pivot. I was currently working on a spending requirement of $15,000 on the American Express Blue Business Plus card, but that requirement gives me an entire year to complete it, so that'll take a back seat. $15,000 is a lot for me, and I've already exhausted some tricks and tips like paying all my property taxes and insurance. So I may need to do another video on how to meet higher minimum spending requirements. Well, unless Kylo Ren the dog eats some more poisonous mushrooms, then his vet bill will get me there super quick. Either way, I will update you on the process. Before I go, I want to remind everyone to use a shopping portal for all your online retail shopping. Rakuten is the one I use most frequently. Right now, there's a limited time special. Use my link in the description and you can get $40 cash back on your very first purchase. Do it, it's free money. Guys, my time is up here, but like and subscribe if you want more content like this, and I promise there will be more chase content coming in the future. As always, if you stayed around all the way to the end, I appreciate you, and I thank you.